Okay, hey, welcome back to the Iowa Chill Show. It is January 6th. We ring in the new year here. I'm Nathan Creeps, joined by my co-host, Mr. Bryce Borsteller. Uh, Take me back to 2024. 2025 is the worst year of my life.
No, you're 100% accurate. Nate, this has been a terrible start for our fandom. I don't know if the year's so bad so far. It's so early to tell. I have a lot of high hopes, but my Vikings just got destroyed. The Bulldogs on a 2-game losing streak. Hawkeyes getting annihilated. It's not looking good for the state of Iowa. Unless you're a
I've lost.
Cyclone fan.
Yeah, Cyclones are cruising right now, especially with the men's basketball. But nope, I've lost every bet in the book. I got to be 0 for 10 right now in the new year. I was up $240 at the casino Saturday. Lost it all within 5 minutes.
Oh, man.
My Iowa Hawkeyes gave up a Kohl Center record and second program most points in Wisconsin history. The other day, Drake comes off a 2-game losing streak after hyping them up here for the last month. Hey, I mean, I hate 2025.
Yeah,
I
we
hate
ended
it.
the podcast last week saying, if you're not jumping on the Drake bandwagon, then what are you doing? And now it's
I
like,
my
damn, everyone's
coworkers
falling off.
my coworkers are calling me the kiss of death right now at work. So if Nate's on it, you're losing it, and that's just the. I mean, I'm not even a week into 2025, and I already hate my life.
Yeah, it's rough, dude. And here's where I'm at on the betting side of things. My sports books were looking really good, and I had stacked a little bit of cash. It's really all fun money. I'm not doing any of this for profit, really, because I know that at some point I'm going to bet a whale on the Vikings, Hawkeyes, Panthers, Bulldogs, something. But that's been my downfall. Is like I do such a good job. I'm careful and I'm building my cash, and then I spend it and waste it all on the Vikings or the Hawkeyes or the Bulldogs. It's killing
I
me.
Yeah, and I know people are gonna those Homer fans out there. Nobody hates their life more right now than the players. They trust me, they're feeling this loss way more than you, and I agree, they are. And
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna sit here and let them take it that way. So, with that being said, I was at the bar Friday for Madison's coworkers' uh, birthday, and her boyfriend shot to Alex Noki. Big fan of the cast. Him and I decided that. Well, personally, I decided that he was just laughing at it. That I'm going to put myself in as much misery as I possibly can with these players. And on next episode, I will be consuming the world's hottest chip
Okay.
live. I don't. This year sucks enough already. I'm going to make it suck even more. And that's
Is
about as.
this is it in solidarity with the players? Is that essentially what's going on? You just want to suffer with the rest of the state of Iowa's athletes?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
It's definitely a part of that. And you just once you get in that hole, it's hilarious how depressed you are. And I just want to make it worse. I want to hurt more.
Okay.
I'm sick right now.
Okay.
And
So
so it's ordered. It's going to be arriving here tomorrow, but I'm going to wait till next podcast. I'll pop it out at the end. We'll do a quick live reaction, see how I handle it.
okay. So Monday night at 5 p.m. when next week's pod releases, people can watch you suffer.
Yeah, you're watching me
Okay.
suffer right now, but I'm going to suffer a little bit more next week again.
Well, I'm almost tempted to put you on more live streams and stuff. I think your analysis of the bowl game last week was a lot of fun. I think that the people are looking for a little bit more creep. So it's, if you feel this way, put it in the YouTube comments, Instagram, or TikTok comments. Let's get some more Nate out here. It's suffering, but sometimes suffering can be funny.
Yeah, when I suffer the most is when I speak the most truth. So that's where I'm at right now. But hopefully we're in the. I don't know if I can go any lower. Hopefully I hit a bump and it starts inclining up here and get 2025 rolling a little bit better. But we'll see. We'll jump into sports here a little bit later as they're continuing to ruin my life as they always do. We got some good Iowa news though. This guy
Okay.
is off to a great start to kick off 2025. Bryce here, an Iowa man with 850,000 miles on his vehicle claims the lottery prize. Okay,
Okay.
here
That's a lot of
yeah,
miles.
yeah, he drove a 2001 Chevy Suburban with 849,000 miles to be exact. Will get a new car after winning the lottery prize. Daniel Bragg of Newton, shout out to Newton, recently won 150,000 miles. Oh, $150,000. That's weird. It matched the exact same of miles he had on his car.
Yeah, that
So
is
it's
weird.
like really destined to be, anyways, on a scratch ticket, which we just talked about last podcast. How scratchers are
Yeah.
completely impossible. the win, but he got it done. He said he drove the loud red and rusty Suburban through a snowstorm to claim his prize at the lottery headquarters. I mean, very fitting. He says, in quote, "It's a beater, but hey, it's done a pretty good job. And clearly, it has its own
Obviously, yeah.
15% of the way from reaching 1,000,000 miles here." And he bought the scratch ticket on New Year's Eve, and he said he's going to trade in Suburban. And he said that thing was built like a tank. So it was. So shout out to Daniel Bragg. He's going to get himself some new wheels. But I hate to see. I kind of want to see him hold off on buying a new vehicle and just ride that bad boy for 150,000 miles more. Get that
Well,
thing too.
I think he should. I hope he doesn't trade it in. I hope he buys a new vehicle, as he should, with that new cash, and then slowly, incrementally try to get that thing to 1,000,000. 150,000. Like, you can, the way that guy's been driving it, you can knock that out in a couple of years.
That's unbelievable. I mean, I don't necessarily know what cars are really meant to be built for. What would you say? Like a really, really good car should maybe reach 300,000.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially in the old days, it definitely. I mean, if you got over 200, it was a big deal. Now, like when we bought Darian's Honda, they said that thing will go over 300. Take care of it, do regular maintenance. But I don't think I've ever heard anything over 500.
I don't know if
That's
you get in
nuts.
your car every day, you just look at it, it says 850,000 miles.
Scared.
No shit, right? But clearly, I don't know. But at the same time, if you drove it for 850,000 miles, you're like, damn, yeah, I know it's gotten me this far. It's going to get me a little bit farther.
My first car in college was a Cadillac DTS, and it had about 189,000 by the time I got a hold of it. And I put that thing at about 240 before it fully shit out. And I'm now on my second car that's over 200,000. But us Iowans, we drive around a lot, and you need a reliable car. And a lot of these guys around the state know how to fix cars too. So if it's going, it's going. I have faith that he can get it to 1,000,000. I hope he doesn't trade it in.
We need to reach out to him to really pursue him to not buy a new car, to keep riding the Suburban here and get that thing to 100,000. I mean, 1,000,000 miles. That'd be so cool to tell people, yeah, dude, I drove this thing there 1,000,000 miles.
That's sweet.
Speaking of miles, Bryce here, we're going to recap Iowa storms of 2024 because it was a record year for tornadoes in the state of Iowa. I got some insight here. Bryce, in 2024, Iowa pumped out 125 tornadoes. Number of injuries, 44, and 6 people who passed away from the storms. Rest in peace. The total miles of tornadoes here, Bryce, was 719 miles. If you were to hop on these tornadoes and combine them all together in one long stretch, and you were just a little passenger this last summer and spring, you could ride this bad boy tornado from Cedar Falls, Iowa, down to Nashville.
Crazy.
And even a little farther.
I know at one point we were leading the nation in tornadoes. Did we end up on top there?
We had to have.
Yeah.
Less of Texas kept pumping them out or something stupid like Oklahoma. But the average width of the tornado, 161 yards, average path length, 5.76 miles. The longest one, guess.
Many miles long. I can't even begin to think.
42 miles, and that would belong to the Greenfield tornado, which was like one of the top 5 strongest tornadoes in human history or something crazy like that.
Right.
And the largest width of a single tornado was 1,900 yards. That's ridiculous.
When we were driving back from Northwest Iowa, we drove through Greenfield on the way back home, and that town's in rough shape. Like, that's 42 miles is essentially like Altoona to Pella. So like from my hometown to like the beginning of Des Moines, like that's outrageous. Like those things can cause some serious damage, and Greenfield's still in a state of disarray for sure. There were some rough tornadoes. We got to play a round of golf with Bradley Gebbe from Greenfield, who got hooked up with that new set of Callaway clubs. I think I mentioned that on the pod at one point. He was like, yeah, just everything is just in shambles. They're really, really fun. And us Iowans love a good tornado. I mean, you and I love storms as much as anybody out there. But shit, they can be damaging for sure.
125 tornadoes this year, and I didn't see one fucking tornado.
Yep. Again, I don't know how that's possible.
The record tornadoes in the day was 29 tornadoes in that day. It was on April 26th. We got to reach out to some storm chasers who actually know what they're doing to bring me along for a day of storm chasing. That's all I want in life. I've been trying for 30 years to find a tornado, and I can't seem to even find a hail or anything.
I know. And like it really would be great content, and really like pure content because the roots of Iowa Chill really were you sharing confessions, you sharing Storm content, and you being a fan of sports. So like hitting one of the big three with a Storm Chaser, you in the car that'd be amazing content.
Yeah, that's arguably one of the building blocks of Iowa Chill was Storm content. I
100%.
couldn't personally see it myself, so I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna start this page," and then have everyone throughout the state of Iowa send me in their barn parties and tornadoes, and I loved it. And I built it off of this, and I just want to be part of one.
Mm-hmm. No, I think what
And
we can do is start reaching out to some storm chasers so that when the storms start accumulating again in the spring, you're there. I think that'd be awesome.
that's all I want until we get to the storm chasing. We're gonna have some winter storm coming up here. You guys got a couple inches of snow last
We
weekend.
do. I got a snap this morning from some folks up in Cedar Falls. It doesn't look like you guys have too much, but we have about 2 inches out here. We
Currently on the
missed.
ground right now.
Yeah, we do. Yep, and that's from earlier this week. We actually did not get hit by the big storms that hit Kansas City and that whole latitude through Chicago and everything. But yeah, we did get some snow last week, and
We
starting to appreciate the fact that we have a garage this year.
Yeah, we had no shit, right? We have nothing on the ground right now in Cedar Falls. It's all green grass, brown grass. We did get a little snow in Cedar Rapids on my commute back from Cedar Rapids to Waterloo. But other than that, nothing right now. We did dodge the big bullet. I want snow. I want a good storm. I want winter like it was last year. I want to compile everything in 2 weeks. Just get
Yeah,
drilled and piss pound for 2 weeks and this move on to spring. I mean, how awesome was last year?
it was awesome. It was perfect. We had, I think, Iowa Snow Days part 1 through 5. We had so many videos coming in from people around the state, and it was perfect because, like you said, it was a 2 week period, and then it was over. And then, I want to say that we were out one Saturday morning delivering heat to some of the homeless folks around Des Moines, and it was like -2. Within 3 or 4 days, it was back up to 30 and 40, and like you said, it turned into spring by the end of January, February.
Yeah, buckle up. It's only a matter of time. We're fighting some freezing temps right now, but it's not as bad as we once predicted a week ago in the podcast. We thought some polar vortex weather was coming. It's not going to be nearly as bad. So someone dramatized and hyped it up a little bit, and us Iowans always taking the bait when we see that initial forecast. Before we jump, okay, we're going to jump into sports here, but I do want to highlight before we jump into it how much we hate our lives about sports, and that we hate it so much that I had to do as much digging as I possibly could to find any bright spot in sports right now. I didn't find this. I mean, I didn't do the digging for this, but someone did share this on social media. Drake football, Bryce, beat Eastern Washington this year. Eastern Washington beat Monmouth. Monmouth beat Florida International University, who beat Central Michigan Chippewas, who took down the Ball State Cardinals, who then went and beat the Huskies of Northern Illinois, who claimed a win against Notre Dame Irish,
Okay.
who beat Indiana, who beat Michigan, and we all know who Michigan beat, the Ohio State. So Drake is on top of the world right now in the football.
Drake is the best team in the nation officially. It's crazy. It's crazy how that can work, huh? Like seeing Ohio State last week just absolutely decimate Oregon after they had already played earlier in the season and lost. It's crazy that pipeline can even happen. Drake is not even a scholarship program.
No, but they just had a record year this year, and Drake.
Drake and Grandview and a few of those guys had great seasons.
You and I saw that, and they said, nope, we want him as our coach now, and they took him.
Yep. Mr. Stepsis.
Yep. All right, we're going to jump into some more sports here. But first, we have our friend of ours.
We do not.
We do not have a friend of ours. We're going to edit that part out.
Officially. We will get them back, though.
Okay, let's jump into some sports here. As we all know, Iowa set many records here just last Friday night. Unfortunately, it was for the other team. Iowa gets murdered 116-85 versus Wisconsin. I was just sitting at the bar at Toads watching it. And, it was so bad. I was in the middle of this table with older coworkers who I don't really know. And I was just deaf to them. And I was just watching this. You can hear that beeping sound in the back, the high pitch. I was just watching. I was just slaughtered.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we said, most points ever scored at the Kohl Center. Second most in school history for the program. And this game didn't even go into overtime.
No, and I believe the over/under was something like 162 points. That smashed, obviously, with a record-breaking day. Nate, I want to pull up some stats for you. Something just outrageous that I saw. Wisconsin shot 60+% from three in that game. They absolutely could not miss. And they 100% played the game that Iowa normally plays. Fast break. When they were pulling up from a fast break for 3-point and they were going in, I'm like, this is over.
Yeah, I believe they broke a record too for most recent game. Don't quote me on that, but I've always said my goal in life, not my goal, but one of the favorite things I could ever do in life would play offense against Iowa's defense. How confident I would be in this shitty ass zone that Fran keeps throwing up on the freaking court. And credit the Wisconsin's dude post game interview and says like, yeah, they're not here to play defense. They're just trying to outscore us. That's
Yeah.
not the identity you want. Okay.
No.
I mean, sure, it's cool to score some points, but letting the team hang 116 on you. And I'm so sick of fucking Fran right now. I love him. I'm thankful for what he did, but I think you can see the ceiling here. I mean, we've seen it for many years. Higher power offices, but we're just letting these teams that are more efficient in basketball be incredibly even more efficient against us.
Yeah, no, and you and Colby, brother Colbs, have said that if you want to break a record, just play against Iowa. Well, we saw that, and I don't know how to feel about Wisconsin. Like, I think they're great. I mean, they're scoring a lot more points than a typical Wisconsin team, but my God, I just think Iowa played that badly.
I mean, we just didn't play defense.
Yeah,
we just let a team shoot all over you. You go to see Iowa usually starts the game man to man, and it kind of works for a little bit, and then at some point, Fran just decides, "Fuck it, we're gonna go zone," and just let a team shoot 20 straight threes on us.
Yeah, it's just interesting because it's like if a team starts to heat up, don't you want to go back to man?
I know. Yeah, you'd switch it back up, but no, Fran doesn't want to do it that way. It sucks because like I made a bold prediction last podcast saying next year I was going to be a 4 seed. I know people are laughing at me now, but I was got a lot of talent on the team. I like the players on the team, but the coaching's just stalling them from being, I don't know, an efficient team. Fran, get your shit together. This is not basketball.
Nate, the defense, but also the rotation still. It's like, why are we playing like 14 guys still? Figure out your top 8 and go from there. Yeah, maybe an occasional 9th, 10th, and 11th guy, but that's in absolute dire situations. I'm sick of these guys getting like no momentum out there.
What needs to happen right now, Iowa needs to meet up with Drake basketball and give some of Iowa's depth to Drake and take some of Drake's lack of depth to Iowa and meet in the middle. Someone's calling me right now. All right, Nate, you've been going bankruptcy for 2025 already. Your life sucks. All right, yeah. Speaking of Drake, they lose 2 straight. I mean, the life is getting hard right now. I hate this shit. It's cold out. All my teams I like just lose. I bet on them. They get Ohio Stated. I bet on Oregon.
Yeah.
I bet on Georgia. And then the fucking sideline player hasn't played all year. He knocks a ref.
Parker Jones.
Potential touchdown. Oh my God. Yeah, whatever. So, anyways, Drake loses 2 straight games. It's unfortunate to lose at Murray State and then to lose at UIC. Not 2 games you want to lose. Coming off a 12-0 start. The one bright spot is it looks like Drake may potentially dived in a little bit deeper into the depth. They bring out freshman Isaiah Howard, who led all Drake scorers, 13.6 boards. And think about this dude's athletic. He's making steals, fast breakaway dunks, pit back dunks, really energized Drake into a comeback here late in the game. Drake ended up taking the lead with Drake going up by 1 with maybe like a minute 30 left, and then credit to Murray State, they just hit every 3 in my face.
Yeah. I mean, you've said that. Like, I think Admire said that. Like, their depth is going to hurt. So, if you had to boil it down, what were the two weaknesses in those games?
Scoring. The UIC game, Bennett Sturts put up a damn near triple. I think he put up a triple-double. Anyways, he had 30 points, 10 assists, maybe like 7 boards or something like that. Just no help around him. We're lacking on that other efficient scorer. I mean, and then Bennett only went and scored 12 or 13 points the last game. Our defense has been pretty solid. I think, and Coach McConnell's even saying is like some of our defense may be affecting our offense. It's a quick gut punch right now for Drake. There's no doubt about it. You start the season 12-0, one of 4 teams unbeaten in college basketball. Then you lose 2 to low mid-major teams. It's a gut punch. It's a setback. I trust Coach McCollum to get shit right. They have a massive game Wednesday at Bradley. The last thing you want to do is go on an 0-3 stretch here in Missouri Valley Conference play. So big opportunity to get a dub here at Bradley. One of the NBC's favorites as well. And then after that, hopefully we will be in attendance at the Knapp Center Saturday night to watch our Drake Bulldogs get momentum back here in conference play.
Yeah, I think this Bradley game is finally on TV, so I'm really excited to just sit down for 40 minutes and take in Drake. From what I'm hearing,
ESPN
lack of depth, it's almost like Iowa and Drake should rotate a little bit. It's like if you don't have a lot of guys playing, then maybe go a little bit easier on defense. It doesn't mean like let up and like let these guys score and play like Grinnell College. But Iowa, if you have 14 freaking guys playing, how about you lock down some defenders? When those guys get tired, then you rotate. I don't understand it. So I think McCollum does have the right idea there. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to watch Bradley for sure on Wednesday night, and then I'll be ready to go. I'm going to get my Bulldog swag and be yelling my lungs out at the Knapp Center.
Yeah, I told you we're gonna bring back good luck to this program, and it needs it right now. Who's looking good right now and efficient is Iowa State, which they've done all year long, baby. Number 3, Iowa State for 40 straight minutes took it to number 25 Baylor, closing out a 74-55 win. Iowa State scores below their average on offensive end, but it doesn't matter because they held Baylor to 55 points. Keshawn Gilbert leads all scorers with 16 points and 10 assists. I think Iowa State knocked in about 10 threes I gave. I mean, just that's what you want as a basketball fan, and I can't have that.
This might be the meme of the year. 14 degrees outside.
Scoot your camera over.
14 degrees outside and 14% from the field for Baylor. That's just a tough look when even the TV guys are making fun of you for your shooting percentage. It's not good, but I mean, Iowa State forces a lot. Yeah.
And I had to watch Wisconsin, who's not historically offensive program, put up 116 on the Hawks, bro.
Yeah. To be fair, Baylor is definitely, they've transitioned. They used to have a bunch of big guys and a couple shooters. It looks like a lot of their shooting has left the program. That's a terrible percentage. And on the flip side, Iowa State has all the frickin' shooters and all the depth and all the defense that you could ever want in a team. John Rothstein says that the road to the Big 12 championship goes through Hilton Coliseum, and I think he's 100% correct.
God, it has for the last couple of years, and then you take the prom year out and it went again through Hoiberg. At least for the Big 12 tournament championship. Regular season is definitely in the hands of Iowa State this year if they can take down Kansas. Oh, my God. It's rough, good Nate. For them. Oh, good for them. Good for them. I hope France sits down and watches that game, but I know he fucking doesn't.
So I know that you're a Hawkeye fan first. You've jumped on the Bulldogs bandwagon. Is there any possibility you would jump on the Iowa State bandwagon?
Yeah, if I want to tank their fucking program. I'm the kiss of death. You want kiss of death, Nate, join in, you guys? I might fucking do it.
Yeah,
if I can't have fun here at Iowa or Drake, then you guys can't have fun. I'm fine with Iowa State being good if we're good, But I hate it when we suck and then have to watch them have our team shoot 14% against their electric defense.
Yeah, I think we said that after a football game when Iowa State won and Iowa won, and I think you and I won on all that same weekend. It's a lot easier to cheer for the Clones that week. And I'll say this. Basketball, I've always been more of a Cyclone fan than football, mostly because there's been success. So like as a kid, you're watching and you're like, oh, okay, I want to watch good ball. I don't want to watch a team that's going to lose. Well, for a long time, it was not going to be the Hawkeyes. So I don't know if I'm going to jump fully on the bandwagon. I will definitely celebrate Iowa State's success this year, but yeah, you should probably stay as far away as possible with, 10-foot pole, maybe 100-foot pole away from that organization.
I'm going to start a fundraiser, and then maybe I can make some money off it. Have Iowa State donate a certain amount of money to keep me from being a fan and betting on them. Because I can do it. All it takes is me to open up that DraftKings account, Cyclone Nation, and start hitting a little Cyclone money line.
Nate, I didn't say this earlier when we were talking about betting and some of those bowl games from last week. We were going back and forth. You said a lot of people on Oregon money line, and I tailed you. That bet did not hit, and I've tailed a lot of your plays in the past, and they have hit, and so I appreciate that. But I will confess, I had to fade you on the Georgia Notre Dame game. I didn't send this message, but as soon as you said Georgia money line, I put down some money on Notre Dame.
Yeah,
I had to do it.
yeah, it's fine. I've been there with my cousin Mike. When they're finding out what he's betting on NCAA March Madness, everyone would just do the complete opposite. I totally get it, and that's
Yeah.
how you gotta be selfish sometimes when it comes to betting. So credit to you for being smart about it. And that being said, I put DraftKings away for January, so it's
Okay.
gonna be January when it comes to betting on DraftKings and any other sports. But yeah, no, my coworker who had like a 6 leg parlay, he had $100 bet, and his final leg was Georgia money line to win 1,200, and he could cash out for 800, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. And I told him, like, dude, be careful. I'm on Georgia today. I heavily consider, and I got to work. He's like, yeah, dude, I cashed out, thank God. And here's the thing, dude, Georgia, they pissed it themselves.
Yeah, no, it
They
was
turned the ball over.
100%
I
their
mean,
own problem.
if you play the game again, I think I'd take Georgia. They just They did everything they could to lose that game. Fumbling at the 5 yard line, fumbling right before halftime, getting a Notre Dame touchdown. Your Parker Jones, whatever his freaking name is, hitting refs. Oh my god,
Yeah, it was rough, dude.
it's
As bad
been
as
my
your luck
life.
has been, like your luck has not been good, and there's no doubt about it. There was a kid from Cresco, Iowa, and I can maybe find his name if I searched hard enough, who was trending in the betting Twitter world, and he had put close to $1,000 on Alabama to win, which was what 14.5 spread over Michigan. I think that amount of money that he wagered would have won him like $200. So he was very confident in this Alabama money line, and of course Michigan goes on to upset 19-13. So it could be worse. I mean, there's literally hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars getting wagered on these games that should be guaranteed. College football, college basketball is just the death of sports gambling for me.
Yeah, and I had Arizona State money line pretty big too, who gave up a 4th and 13 in overtime, like a receiver beating the back of the end zone. You got to be kidding me. And it's been on and on and on. Boise State too. I mean, oh my god, it's good. I've been off sports betting now here since was it the Ohio State game? Yeah, since the Ohio State game, Oregon
Okay.
game. So life's been better for me. I'm starting to kind of see life move around me, and it's been better.
That's good. Yeah, hey, a lot of people do dry January with alcohol, and you doing it with sports betting might be exactly what you need going into the hot start or the hot
Yeah,
part of college basketball.
yeah, and like I said, I was up 240. I put $20 on the roulette here just last week at the aisle, and Colby and I were doing the same bet. We're sitting next to each other. I got up $240,
Mm-hmm.
and we were hitting the exact numbers a couple of times, red black, odds, evens, and then I just lost like 8 straight in a row. And so within a couple of minutes, I was down to $0.
Sorry, man. You've had quite the start to the year, and I think you're going to come back strong. But
Something's got to change here, but
yeah.
yeah, I'm hopping on Dryuary for betting, and then I'm also doing Dryuary only. I can only drink on Saturdays.
Oh, okay. It's
So
good. Yeah, we
yeah,
did the dry January last year. It was good. Kind of clears the mind a little bit.
are you doing it this year?
I decided not to do it this year. So here's my thing. We touched on it a little bit. The Vikings are in shambles, losing their number one spot in the NFC, losing the division to the Lions, which would have been last night when this episode comes out. And I have a lot of hope. There's some playoff games, and I'm planning on 3 playoff games, which I have to have a couple brewskis for. And we also start our golf league tonight, and there was no chance in hell I was going to go into golf league completely sober. So I'm not doing it this year, but more power to the people that do.
Yeah, like I said, I'll only be doing Saturday. So that means Saturday when I'm in town, we'll go to Jethro's.
Yes.
I love Jethro's. Want to get
Mm-hmm.
some wings, get a couple brewskis before the big Drake game, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I really am.
That, in your time of need, getting together with some of the good people around you is exactly what you need.
And some Jethro wings. That's all I want in life right now. I mean, you can see it aging me on right now, but let's get out of the sports section. We got a good segment for here, yeah, all day to wrap up this podcast. We're gonna be ranking our top 5 best things we love about growing up in Iowa,
Mm-hmm. Love this segment.
and this is something that can help clear my mind a little bit, bring me back happiness, and appreciate my origin here in the state. I did not put sports on in this top 5 because I fucking
Okay.
hate it right now.
That's probably good.
I'll start us off with number 5 here. I love nothing more than going on vacation and then coming back. Because
Oh,
you're going on vacation, one, you get to leave Iowa, and it's awesome leaving Iowa.
Yep.
and then going to like a beach or something in Cancun. I just did recently here, but at the same time, you appreciate Iowa and that you want to get back. It's getting back. It's not overwhelming. It's calming. It's welcoming you back. It's calm and it's just refreshing. So
Yeah.
it's good to get out of the state, but it's great to come back.
I love that. And that's something that I hear from a ton of people, and I've definitely felt myself. We went out to Utah, went out to Nashville both this fall, and just that feeling coming back is great. It's like you're so ready to leave, you're so sick of your routine, and you come back to just like the green rolling hills, the cornfields, the friendly people, and you're just like, yeah, there's a reason why I stay here. I think that's a great number 5.
What's the longest you've ever been away from Iowa?
Oh, probably 10, 12 days. Not very long. Well, that's not true. I spent some summers in the Ozarks.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
know.
it's still kind of home.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. If it's not so different. So, I'll say 10, 12 days.
Okay. Anything more than a week, I'm ready to get the hell back.
Mhm.
My in-laws, my father-in-law and mother-in-law are heading to New Zealand. They're going to do a cruise and an island hop, and they're going to be gone for 3 weeks. I don't think there's no way I could do it. I'd be so homesick.
I didn't think that I was a homesick type person until I was probably 18, 19, 20. And I'm like, man, I guess I kind of am. So that's a lot of time for me. I don't know if I would want to do 3 weeks, but it's probably good for you.
Yeah, no, it is credit to them for going out there and seeing the world. But I don't know I'd have so much anxiety trying to pack for that.
Yeah, that's true. What do you even do there? You have to like do laundry, or
you're gonna have to. There's no way you pack 3 weeks worth of clothes.
Oh, that's sweet. That's like a top spot. Italy, New Zealand, some of those marquee spots. I really want to get there. Nate, I'm going to start off number 5 with driving around, and that's just a cliche Iowa thing to do. But when you don't have a lot of entertainment, especially growing up in small town Iowa, driving around is just kind of what you do for fun. And to me, that's just
some of the best conversations happen in that little cab of the car. There's no doubt about it.
First dates, when you have nothing to do, like we drive to Des Moines. Sometimes we don't even do anything in Des Moines. We would just drive to Des Moines and then come back. But you play some tunes, you have some conversations. I mean, it really does it all. That's all we had in Pella.
Yeah, you'll see that later on my list as well.
Number 4, you're going to see another kind of cliche, machine/barn parties.
Yeah.
Whether it's graduation, whether it's 17-year-olds up to no good, just the fact that we get together in the biggest outdoor space that we can find, usually on someone's plot of land, is like just a cliche, fun thing to do. It just sets the tone.
Do all sorts of shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Especially, fireworks where they shouldn't be fired out of. Occasionally there was some underage beverages consumed. Not always, not by everybody. But just, some of the best times.
That's where
middle of nowhere.
That's where you discover alcohol, is at a barn.
Mm-hmm.
You don't discover it. Maybe some random people do it in basements, but in Iowa, I feel like you got to be baptized in a barn.
Yep. 100%.
Alcohol and Busch Light. My number 4 here, give me the small hometown high school feelings. I went to a class of 40 some people I graduated with, and I loved it. Loved every single second of it. And I love my small enough town, but it had just enough necessities to get groceries and things like that. I think that's a perfect size to grow up in. I love growing up, and I'm glad I don't live there anymore, but it was really good for me. Built a lot of good friendships and some hilarious ass times growing up with some friends. So, and I don't think that would have happened. Maybe I would have made it happen in a larger town, but just because I lived it that way and I loved it that way, I appreciated it that way.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. And you'll see that a version of that on mine as well. But just like, there's something to it. I graduated with a class of about 160, but it felt like you knew everybody in the school still. And I don't think you get that in a lot of urban, especially like dense population, north, south, east coast stuff. Like there's nothing quite like just knowing everybody like the back of your hand. It's good and bad. I mean, some people hate that, but for me, that was a fun thing.
Number 3, driving around kind of. Always needing to drive an hour or two to do something or to get somewhere. Mm-hmm. I love that. Yep. I mean, we looked forward to that so much. If you had to drive 20 minutes to get somewhere lame, the best part is driving with the boys in the car to get somewhere. And that's why I almost don't accept some Iowans that grew up in Des Moines. I don't believe that they're actually real people to me. Just because they didn't grow up with that majority of the experience like you and I did. It's like, oh, I got to go shopping this week, but so I got to drive 2 hours to get to that store. And that was the best time ever. And now I got to drive back with the boys. I don't care how long that trip was. It
Didn't matter
wasn't
at
long
all.
enough.
Yep.
And so back in high school, we would schedule college visits all throughout the state just so we could drive there, and obviously miss school that day.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
yeah,
of course. Yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah, that's
My
why I've always loved that meme that we've posted on Midwest versus Everybody and Iowa Chill. It's just like when you had a special occasion, you'd drive to a restaurant that was 45 to an hour away. When you had nothing to do, you'd drive 45 to an hour away. And it's like, that was us. Like, truly, Pella to Des Moines, the skirts of Des Moines was 45 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, that one hits home. Love it. Third one, kind of the same, not quite the same as just the small nature of your high school, but just the Iowa nice. Like, I think it does still ring true. Like, the people around here are genuinely interested and care, especially like the smaller you get, the more the community is tighter. And I love it. Like, there's part of me that wanted to grow up and move to a city. The older I get, we're moving further and further west from out of Des Moines. I mean, I love that nature of, your neighbors, like if you need something, they're there, we're there for you. And it's just kind of hard to find that when you get to the urban populations and leave the state, especially the Midwest.
Absolutely, you'll see that on my list as well.
Number two, kind of a nature one, and this was also kind of a first date thing back in the day. Do you guys ever go stargazing?
Arguably, I can't believe I put this on my list. I love stargazing. I lived up in north central Iowa where very little light pollution was up there. And boy, could I soak in the Milky Way.
I think that's like, whether it's just like going out and doing like an actual event of stargazing, or just like the fact that you can see the stars in the state of Iowa. It's just kind of cool.
Yeah, our good friend, the Cadolians, the Cadolians.
Yep.
When they first moved here from Las Vegas, well, they lived in Iowa for a little bit, then went to Las Vegas, and they moved back to Iowa. But anyways, she would have some friends come up from Las Vegas, and spend the night, and that was always they would sit there and just gaze like they were high on drugs, and just sit there and stare at the stars. Like,
Yeah.
you don't understand. We don't get this in Vegas.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And my last one's a little bit nature related too, but it's just weird. Like, you kind of take some of these things for granted living here, and then you go out somewhere where it's like light pollution or, cloudy, whatever, smog. Like, you don't always have that.
My number two, Bryce, the people of Iowa.
Yep.
I feel like anytime I go east, I feel like someone wants to hurt me. If I go to Illinois, the farther east I go, I think those people want to hurt me. I don't get that feeling here. You know, even though we have our differences when it comes to Iowa State and Iowa. And that's why I enjoy summertime. Everyone's really friendly. Things get a little competitive comes fall, springtime. That's why we love sports, though, right? We want to hate on each other. But for the most part, I love everyone here in the state of Iowa. And that's why I miss going on vacation. I can come back, it's just welcoming. No one wants to hurt me here. I like being in places where I don't want to be hurt.
Yeah, I think that's a very uniquely small town, or maybe just Iowa thing in general. I have a grandpa up in Northwest Iowa who is a conceal to carry type of gentleman. And when he goes to other places, he always has that piece on him, just because he's a little bit worried about what other people are doing. And hey, I mean, sometimes crazy stuff happens. I just think it's funny. Like, we really don't have to worry too much about a lot of the riffraff around here. And it's just nice. You generally see like pleasant faces when you go out in public, and that's not always the case in other places. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's even just like the little things. My neighbor giving me his cedar so I can see my lawn last year. Anything else, and the boys are always looking out for me. And I'm here to help them in any way possible too. And I love doing it. I love doing it. I love to have people helping me out, giving me their snowboard last year during the ending of the earth or ending of Iowa last year, that 2-week period. I was trying to shovel it all. I was getting impaled by my shovel. But nope, they said, we've had enough of this, Nate. Here's our snowblower.
Yep. I mean, and you're one of the best neighbors a guy could have. Like, you're always out there helping the kids of the neighborhood, helping shovel if needed. Like, you're just one of those guys.
I got my basketball hoop out my driveway. It's the community hoop out here. So
love that.
Looking to give some kids buckets. Don't get me wrong. I'll be very friendly, letting you shoot on it. But if you're gonna play with me in a game,
you're not going to learn.
You're gonna learn the hard way, and that's how I help grow. It's going to grow these kids.
Hey, that's how I learned how to grow the game of ball. Like, how to get better playing against the older neighbor kids.
So I think I'm falling back with our number one.
I think so.
Number one, I love the 4 seasons of Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa, you legit get the hard 4 seasons, right? And right now, the reason I love it, you got to go through some bad times to feel better during the good times,
Yep.
you're just happy all 4 years, all 4 months around, or all 4 seasons around. And it's just you're lying. I like going up here. Yeah. So right now we're in that depressing state of winter, and I'm trying to hate as much as I possibly can. Sports are making me hate it even a little bit more, and I know come springtime I'm going to blossom like a flower. There's no better feeling when it comes springtime when it's that first 50-degree day. You see everyone out on their walks, everyone's super nice. It's a wake up call.
Yep.
And it brings the biggest smile on my face. And then you get the summer. Summer's almost my least favorite month, just because
I know it's like it's
if I lived on a lake, I'd like it a lot more, but I don't have a lake house, so I get jealous. And then comes fall time. Now people are forced to be away from their cabins, which makes me happy because they got to come back down to my level. And then football's just right around the corner. You can wear sweatpants, sweatshirts. Spring and fall are without a doubt my 2 favorite months. But I appreciate all 4 seasons because it brings the highs and lows out of me.
Yeah, you stole mine, and that is the first feelings of when you know it's truly spring. Mother Nature in Iowa will play jokes, and they will tempt you with spring in the end of February. They'll tempt you with spring a little bit in March, and then they'll give you even a week or two in April where it's nice. And then it'll downpour. It might freeze. It might snow. But my favorite thing about Iowa is that first couple consistent weeks of 70 degrees. Everything's super green, and you just know you're in for like the best month of your life.
March Madness is right there too. It's super nice. So you're going, oh my God, I cannot wait.
Yep.
I'm getting excited talking about it.
I know. And dude, I appreciate your 4 seasons thing is underrated. Like I used to hate winter, and I used to be like, yeah, summer guy. Always been a little bit biased with fall football and a birthday in the fall. The 4 seasons really make you appreciate when you have something good going on. And it might be a couple of weeks of the whole year in Iowa. Sometimes it's sweltering hot for way too long. Sometimes it's way too cold for too many months. But it does make you appreciate the good times.
Yeah, right now, like I said, we're in the depressing state, so everyone hang in there. We're going to get through it together. Hopefully we don't have too long of it. Hopefully it's a little bit like last year, but if I know Mother Nature, she's going to get a revenge for being easy on us last year. But brace in there, hang in there together. Like I said, we're in pain right now, so I'm going to be in a little bit more pain again next week. I'm going to be consuming the world's hottest chip. I'm nervous.
Yeah. So what part of the site are we going to do this? The beginning of the episode, the end of the episode? Are you struggling through the entire episode after you eat the chip? What's going on?
That's a good question. See, I thought about it. Would it be funny if I kind of struggled throughout the entire episode trying to talk? Maybe we do it towards like the last segment,
Yeah.
I eat it, and then we try to do our 5 segment and have me kind of suffer, try to get through it. It might be stupid, but we'll laugh about it, right?
No, I think that's probably a good way to do it, so we can have a semi-normal show and then watch you be in pain.
Right. Because
that's gonna be hot.
If I eat the chip and then we just cancel the recording, then I'm just kind of consuming this thing by myself and being in pain by myself. So at least we'll kind of maybe take a little bit of the pain off my mind.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good way to do it.
Okay. All right, guys. Again, back-to-back episodes of Depressing Nate and Depressing Bryce. Thank you for getting with us. Let's keep chugging. Let's keep doing it. Hopefully things flip the table. I don't know if my life can get any worse right now.
Hey, but think about this. Think about this. Season's not over. Vikings are still in the playoffs. Hawkeyes have a lot of ball left. Drake can rebound. It's still so early in the season. We got an Iowa State team to cheer for. You're taking some time off betting, which is good. And most importantly, you got some simulator days coming up. I mentioned that our league is starting up tonight. You've got some date nights with Colby. I mean, hey, there's some good things to look forward to. As much as we're hanging our head now, things are looking up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure him and I won the fall simulator league, and I know winter simulator league is going to be starting. I got to call the golf course to make sure we didn't miss that winter simulator league start. Looking forward to it. Again, everyone, thanks for joining the show today. Shout out to everyone that's doing your thing. We'll see you guys next week on the 13th.
Happy New Year, everybody. See you later.
Guess what's up the Mississippi? Kicking back, yeah, evidently. Everybody grab your people, come together.